Howdy, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Sit Down. Tonight, I have, it's this way, Master Chief with me, but I also have a couple of other guests. Don, you all know him. You've seen him here before. And Archie, aka Mr. Scorchibald. We're here to finish our chat on basically our favorite video games and how they've impacted us. Last episode we did from the birth of gaming, from like Pong up into PlayStation 1 and Xbox, the original. And we are going to resume that discussion tonight, but after I make a couple of announcements. Thank you to everybody who followed me on TikTok. I went from like 550 followers to I think I'm at like 805 or 810, and that was just after me making one post. This is going to be the last podcast that I'm doing on Mondays. Everything's going to move to Thursdays with maybe a longer stream with touching on a couple of different subjects. So thank you guys for tuning in. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring Archie out first. Hello, Mr. Archie. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
What's going on, Andrew? Name's Archie Pizik. Thanks for having me on the pod again. I consider myself a buff gamer or something of the sorts. Don't really work out. On our last episode of the podcast, we went through all the way up until I believe PS2 is where we're picking back up, and this is going to be a lot more of where my forte kind of got its grounds in how I consider myself a connoisseur of modern gaming.
Very, very nice. What games are you playing the most right now?
From Software is really just taking the cake, man. Everything from Armored Core to Elden Ring to even jumping back into the older Dark Souls games because I haven't played them. A lot of the JRPG Souls-like kind of vibe is what I've been digging lately.
Oh, hell yeah. And my main man, you see him on almost every episode. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in now. My boy, Don.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you, Don, for coming on. You've become kind of a fixture around these parts.
Yes, sir.
All right. So where we left off last was I asked you a bunch of questions about who would win in fights.
Yes.
Right. So it started off Duke Nukem versus James Bond, and then we went into Samus. No. It was
Master Chief versus Doomslayer.
Doomslayer.
Which was... That's still a tough one. I mean, if you ask me the same question again today, I might change it.
What do you think, Don? Out of those two?
I'm going with Doomslayer.
Ooh, interesting. Why is that?
Because I've never played Halo.
You're going to talk about my boy right here? You're going to talk about my boy, Master Chief, who's literally in the room with us right now?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Kind of bold, but let's see how it pays off.
Never owned an Xbox, man.
Oh. I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to the PlayStation versus Xbox wars back in the early days, starting off like the 360 days and the PS3 days, even going back to PS2 versus the first gen Xbox. You can't call it the Xbox One anymore. So, but even back then, a lot more of like the sweaty community, I feel like they've been so dubbed nowadays, was belonging to the Xbox 360 kind of Halo guys. I feel like that was way more of the try-hard gamer.
So last time, I was trying to think of a game, and I could not think of that game.
Is this game?
This is the game.
Food chaos.
It's you're filming a movie, but you're fighting. I wonder if I could find game. Okay, no, let's not go down this rabbit hole of gameplay trailers.
3D fighting party game.
Yeah, you can play with your friends. So what we're gonna do, I guess we're gonna go through. First of all, we're gonna go through the top 15 most popular games from
Are we
PlayStation
talking?
2.
Are we talking most popular? Are we talking most sold or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or what? What did you think the?
Well, I didn't know if you meant like according to. I guess most sold would be the best way to do it. Don't mind whatever I'm.
You mean like if they were played a lot, but they were like pirated or something like? Okay.
Because like a game back then could have sold really well, but if you ask somebody today if it held up or if it offered anything substantial when it comes to longevity, it might just be another game. Because I believe there was like 2 or 3 From Software games that were launch games for the PS2. Armored Core 2 being one of them. And if you ask anybody about those games like back then, or if you look at the numbers, I'm sure they would tell a very different story about how popular those games were. You know what I mean? But we know as From Software today, the mechanics that they kind of started to really get a grasp on in those early days made those games kind of monumental.
I think that like what's going to cement those games is if there was a culture around it, so to speak. So like
right. I hate to keep using the From Software Souls-like analogy, but that is just what I'm most versed with.
Sure. Yeah. So we're gonna start with what? Okay. So if you all had to guess, what do you think the number one selling PS2 game of all time was? If you don't know,
I think I know.
I feel like it has to be San Andreas, like 100%. Like
I think the same thing.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's it. Yeah, you're both right.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, this is going to be a little bit more difficult. What do you think number 2 was?
You want to hear a secret? I already pulled up the list.
It's funny because I was gonna continue this trend and see.
Fine. What do you think the 38th best? What do you think the number 38 best selling game was?
I know that they had maybe 3 Gran Turismo games in the top 10.
Yeah.
Which is outrageous, which is nuts.
No, like people still play these. They still play like Gran Turismo and Forza, the old ones. Yeah. But Need for Speed, they don't play those anymore, really. At least not the like original.
Yeah. Ones. Need for Speed fell off pretty hardcore. Gran Turismo is still that's still our PlayStation equivalent of Forza, which we will never amount to what Forza has done. I hate it, but I'll give them their flowers.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, so obviously 2 of the top 10 are GTA. No, 3 of the top 10 are GTA, and then 3 of the top 10 are Final Fantasy, and then Metal Gear Solid 2.
I guess that's what's kind of crazy to me is if you look at the numbers of PS2 games that have came out, it's some astronomical number, like 4,000 or ridiculous, but that's counting all like US version versus Japanese version, like all re-releases of these games. But still, dumbing that down to 1,500, maybe 2,000 original games each, I'm surprised that there's so many repeat, like popularized games from the PS2. Like I said, Gran Turismo having 3 entries at above the top 15, I believe.
So now, not
Final Fantasy.
Counting variants, there's 1,850 games, and counting variants, there's 3,400.
Okay, my numbers were a bit
no, you were close.
hyperbolized. Yeah,
you said a couple thousand. I mean, you're not.
Yeah, not terribly off, but still. Yeah. I'm supposed to be a connoisseur, man.
Oh, my dad works at Sony. Tekken 5 is in there, which also makes sense.
It's crazy. I was reading about a Tekken Tag Tournament being one of the launch games for the PS2, and how crazy it is that just comparing gameplay. I was looking at this today. I was comparing gameplay from last generation or even the last game, and that game being a launch game for PS2 is crazy. That when Tekken Tournament came out, it was light years above, I feel like, anything else we had, because I think it was that and maybe Dead or Alive 2 were the only 2 fighting games that came off like right off the bat for PS2.
I want to say Soul Calibur came out like super close to that. Soul Calibur.
I took maybe, because they also had quite a bit, like a large launch catalog with maybe 25 games to start off. That may also be inflated, but I read a lot of numbers stuff today.
So Soul Calibur 2 came out kind of like really close after the PlayStation 2, a year after. But it was the first video game that was like popular and had Spawn in it. I don't know. Did you all play Soul Calibur 2?
Soul Calibur 2 was one of the first ones that they did, like depending on what console you got on, you got different, like, what we know as DLC, because the GameCube version had Link as a playable character as opposed to Spawn on the PlayStation version, I believe.
Had someone else.
Xbox had somebody else.
Let's see. Who was that?
I can't think of at the moment.
Soul Calibur 2 Xbox.
Hey, by the way, Archie, you were close on the 25 number there. It was 29 games that came out on launch.
Okay. Price is Right rolls. I would have been close.
Well, you probably would have had it.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, honestly. I mean, I know all the next gen consoles. All the next gen consoles that we've had lately are all backwards compatible. So like when at launch you already have a fucking wide selection of games. So you don't really have that much anymore having to worry about.
I didn't know Eternal Ring was a launch title.
Eternal Ring was one of the first From Software titles that introduced like having a stamina bar for actions and stuff like that, which eventually became, well, like the endurance stat, really.
Yeah.
So Heihachi was on Tekken or Soul Calibur for PlayStation. Link was on the GameCube, and then Spawn was on Xbox.
Who was the Xbox one again?
Heihachi from Tekken. He is.
Was that the original Xbox? Yes. It had to have been. Yeah,
that's this guy.
Oh wait, let me move my. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. See, I don't think I played the Xbox version of that game much. I think I had the PlayStation version because my buddy who I played with all the time, he wasn't allowed to have a PlayStation because the games were a lot gorier. He was like a church kid.
Dude,
So
church parents, when the PlayStation 2 came out and they were like, here's Grand Theft Auto.
yeah,
They were like,
exactly.
you will never have one. Go play The Simpsons Hit and Run. It's way different.
Dude, my mom refused to buy me San Andreas, but she allowed my aunt to buy it for me. She was like, I will not buy it for you, but if you can find someone else to buy it for you, they can. I was like, okay.
That's how I found out how to work around the system.
Yeah, that's like prove yourself and I'll
solve
allow
your
it.
own problem, kid.
Yeah.
No, they would come in once in a while and make me turn off a certain radio station or something. You know, they would hear like Rage Against the Machine, like, fuck you, I do what you tell me. And they'd be like, turn that off.
See, I had the type of father that would encourage me to play Conker's Bad Fur Day in front of him because he thought it was funny. So
is that the only video game you can pee on stuff?
Dude, I was telling Andrew about this. They did the Live and Reloaded version for the original Xbox. It was like, I don't know how that was like sold as a game. Like, I feel like if that were to come out in today's climate, it would be anarchy.
Well, it's the South Park video game. You could pee on the snowballs before you threw them.
Hell yeah. Did they do like poison damage or something?
Yeah, kinda.
They definitely did more damage.
Yeah. All right, so I'm trying to like think about how to best do this. So do you guys, I want to go through and talk about San Andreas, just because there's a couple of things that I wanted to touch on. So San Andreas, I think maybe to this day, maybe it's easily top 3 highest replay values of any game, because even when you're done, you're not done, because you could still do gang wars, you could still do like side missions. Yeah, I think still to this day, I can't.
It's definitely my most recently replayed PS2 game.
I'm trying to think of something that I would go back and play.
It's weird that Grand Theft Auto had such a rap on that. To the replay value was infinite. I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto 5. Like they cracked the code. And that's where it started, was games like San Andreas and stuff.
Yeah, San Andreas, thinking about it, do you all remember when hot coffee, the whole hot coffee thing happened?
I was waiting to bring it up.
Dude, people lost their minds.
Because that was like it was something they took out, but it was like left in the coding, right? And then someone found it.
Yeah.
Let's. I don't think I'm familiar with what you guys are talking about at the moment. It's a mod?
I'll show you.
I tried.
So it was a mini game. It was a mini game in San Andreas where you're fully clothed, but you're having sex with a lady. You have to.
Is this for real?
You have to please a lady. Yeah. It's real. People lost their minds about this.
It's on the original version of San Andreas?
No, I think it was like online, right?
So that's what I'm reading right now. I've only seen.
See, this is what Don was talking about. They discovered hidden code. In game.
So it's in the game, really, though.
It is, but it
Yeah,
is-
but it was called like the hot coffee mod because it was modders that found the code.
right.
Yeah.
So they were like ones who were made it available.
Right. Well, they were probably just like data mining, and they just stumbled across this extra bit of. It's like, hey, what's this do? Then boom, mini game.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
I see. I always love stuff like that when it comes to like unused boss arenas and like, oh, they could use this for like a lore plot, but then you have things like this.
They I'm trying to think of like like I really cannot think of like another game that I played and replayed as many times as I did San Andreas. Fable, maybe
I only got
Fable
one.
1. I
For
think Fable 1.
PS2, it's tough. Oh, Jack and Dexter, for sure. I went out of my way to buy every type of trilogy bundle that they had from the PS3 on just to replay this. I replay those like once a year, just for the fun of it. I think it's an elite platformer.
I'm a Spyro guy.
Crash Bandicoot number 3. Easily. I played that probably like 1,600 hours. I played it like a lot.
Oh, what am I saying? Final Fantasy 12, dude. I still play Final Fantasy 12. Still. Which I'm glad that it got such good reception when they went against the grain with their new combat system. It's not like the I attack, you attack kind of same scheme where all your characters stand in line. It's a lot more of like a fluid just process. It felt a lot better. It felt really like that's one of the first games I remember playing where I was like, this is next level. Like there's an entire world in this game. There's end game stuff, there's secrets, there's fucking everything looks pretty. Like
Hey Matt, thanks for tuning in. I think
and 12
So-
was such a hit or miss for people, which sucked. Because
wait, I'm sorry.
loved
Oh,
it.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 12.
I never really got into any of the Final Fantasies because
12 is got me into the other ones. I didn't like the other ones at first.
I think they were turn-based, and it
Yes.
threw me off.
We
So
talked about this.
Yeah, I just never gave it a chance because I only like one turn-based game, and that's South Park.
Such a wild.
Fractured but whole. Is that?
Yes, there's that one, and then there's the Stick of
Stick
Truth.
of Truth. Yeah.
But yeah, Final Fantasy 12 and the Kingdom Hearts is pretty. Dude, I still play those games, which is nuts that they still obviously they've gotten the treatment, they've gotten their remasters, and Final Fantasy 12 got their Zodiac Age, which kind of opened up their gambit system or narrowed it, depending on how you look at it.
Huh, true enough.
Made it feel a lot more like a old school Final Fantasy game, I guess, is what they were going for.
They just remastered something, right? 7?
Yes.
I was just gonna ask, since you said 12 is what you got into them and you didn't like them before, and 7 is considered like the best by a lot of people. What did you think of 7 when you did play it?
So 7 wasn't even my favorite for the PS1 or PS2. It was well, for the PS1, I guess, because yeah. So 7 wasn't even my favorite one for the PS1. It was Final Fantasy 8, which I got way more involved with the cast right off the bat. I feel like Final Fantasy 7 made me stray away at first. There was a lot more of like a harsher introduction into it. It took a lot more out of me to kind of get involved with the game. 8 was effortless as soon as I picked it up. And just the fact of it being, me and Andrew talked about this last time, PS1 was the introduction of games that were so advanced that they couldn't even fit it on a single disc because of that's how they were getting all the information in the fucking machine at the time. They didn't have clouds or straight internet connectivity.
Right.
So you had games like Metal Gear Solid 1 and Final Fantasy 8 that had 4 discs and stuff. It made me want to keep playing it. It made me want to like have to get to that last disc.
Yeah.
And that's what reeled me in for 8 for sure. And 8
Cool.
had they all have like some kind of gimmicky like side story, side quest stuff, like mini games and stuff. 8 had a full-fledged like card game, collecting card game in it, just like as a side thing. Like you can touch this if you want, and it like that blew my mind. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of like what games that I played that had more than one disc. Probably Metal Gear 3 did. There's
Like-
only one that I can really remember. No. What was the game?
The only two that I
Devil May
remember
Cry?
are Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy. They were multi discs.
Is that the Sandy Rue? My name is Hugo Calavaro. That's my friend Hugo. What was I about to say? Oh, so Final Fantasy, I wish I had more to say about that. Turn-based. It takes so long. I just want to kill things. I just want to crawl out of the sewer, stab someone's neck, shoot out a security camera, and then kill a mob boss. All right, that's all I want.
That's fair.
So getting into like the lower 20s, we got God of War, which I think at the time was probably one of the hardest games. Have you all played this since then?
No.
Have you played it now?
Nope. Well, I played a little bit of. I shouldn't say a little bit. I played about maybe 20 to 30 hours worth of God of War 2016, and it felt way better. It felt way better than what I remember experiencing with these games, because what I experienced with these games was
Just
not
murder, just dying.
Yeah, it was not pleasant at first.
So my experience with God of War was like the puzzles. So back then there wasn't like, now you can go on YouTube and you can type in like, how do I solve level 3 on God of War? Back then it was like you had to know a guy, and it was probably not even that guy. It was like that guy's older brother who had beat the game.
The good days, man.
Yeah, seriously.
You just had to hope that like Nintendo Power would have like an article about the specific level you needed help on.
Dude, oh my god.
Oh, they had those Game Informers.
Yeah, the Game
used to
Informers
have-
with the cheats in the back.
They would have like
just hoping that
walkthroughs.
your game was in there that week.
Oh,
Yep.
Wait.
Yeah, that was
Do
the
you all
best
remember
shit
this?
ever. But yeah, it's funny with God of War.
He had internet before like most people at school did, and he would charge people like 50 cents or something per page to print off like cheat codes for video games.
This. this game or this book.
Oh, holy God.
That had to have been the holy grail back then, bro.
Yeah.
I remember when San Andreas was popular, my friend had one of these, and none of us had like money to get this, and we were like, we don't know where you got this. Did you get it from overseas? The internet wasn't as cool or as popular then. And I had like a piece of paper that had like everything written on it. So it had like the tank code and the swimming code and like all this stuff. Do you all still remember R1, R2, L1, R2, left down, right up, left down, right up?
Left down, right up, yeah.
And
I
then it
still
was
have
R1, R2, L1, R2, left down, right up, left down, down, left. R1, R2, L1X, left down, right up, left down, right up.
L1X was the health cheat, I think, maybe?
Armor.
Was it
armor and
armor?
money, I think.
I think armor filled your health too, though, when you did that.
So maybe that's why, yeah.
R1, R2, L.
I keep all of my game systems in like shoe boxes or something of the sort, maybe like big tote. And I still, in the bottom of my PS2 tote, have like folded up piece of papers. They've been under those systems for years of like my San Andreas cheats and fucking.
So
Liberty
it
City
gave
and
you
all that.
health, armor, and $250,000.
I was right on the health. I've been really good with my guesstimate stuff today so far.
Have you ever watched Adventure Time?
Yes.
You know when he gets attacked by that leopard or whatever, and he's like, I know, I have an approximate knowledge of many things, Frank the human boy. I know where you might be. Yeah, that's
I'm an average Joe of many trades. I'm not a jack of a singular one. What was I about to? There was a point I wanted to make with God of War. So there was. I feel like I've always been into like more obscure games because this is a great example of that. Is there was Mortal Kombat games that came out that were not like actual Mortal Kombat games. You had Shaolin Monks and you had
Annihilation and Conquest
and either way, these games played very much what I felt like I remember God of War playing like, but I spent so much more time playing those games than I did any of the God of Wars. I just couldn't. I wasn't into just like ground poundy kind of beat 'em up. I don't even know if that's how it was though, but that's how it felt for me. It's like,
no, it's a hack and slash. Like exactly how they describe it here is exactly what it was like.
Also, we haven't talked about Guitar Hero yet.
Yeah, I earlier scrolling down, I was talking about replay value, and then I seen Guitar Hero, and I was like,
talk about replay value,
for sure.
No, I was waiting until we got there because I was kind of surprised that it's at number 25.
And that's only Guitar Hero 2.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of wild to me.
That surprised me. There were a few on here that surprised me.
This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense at all to me. Guitar Hero 3 selling less than Guitar Hero 2.
I feel like Guitar Hero 3 was at the end of PS2's lifetime, though, because you could get it for Xbox 360. You could get it for the Wii.
Yeah, I remember that. That's probably why
they didn't come out. 2007. I mean, it's only a year later.
I'm trying to find the
Still, that's kind of crazy. Dude, Guitar Hero, there's actually a bar down in the Gulch of Nashville that we go to all the time. I shouldn't say all the time. I'm not a big outsy person, but we go there specifically because they have a Guitar Hero arcade machine. and it's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, I was always just mediocre.
Okay, so this is Guitar Hero 2 soundtrack, right? And I forgot all of this stuff. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I played 2 more than 3 because I remember
As a whole, I felt like the catalog was better.
I think 3 was harder. This had better songs though.
Yes, this one definitely had way better songs, dude.
Well, plus it had the rat cellar. You could play in the rat.
Oh, it's like cardboard
Oh, yeah.
cutouts crawling across the fucking stage while you're playing. Yeah,
I remember many nights just chugging 2-liter bottles of Vault and playing Guitar Hero until 5 in the morning.
There's some about the first time that you beat Freebird at Stonehenge with the Grim Reaper that just they cannot be replicated, man.
All right, so
3 was really cool with like
3
the battle dynamic. Like at the end of the game, you face off against the devil. Like that's pretty cool.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so number 2, this is Anger 18. I remember that being difficult. This song. Okay, I'm not gonna say that Guitar Hero is the reason that this song is popular, but I definitely think that this is the reason that this song is so popular.
It as much as people don't like to give Guitar Hero as much credit, dude, there's some songs that there's some bands that they just shot to the forefront of whatever they were doing. I'm not saying that suicidal tendencies needed that at all. If anything, like I think of there's an entire excerpt of Coheed and Cambria's documentary that is cut out about when Welcome Home got picked for Guitar Hero and how fucking big that was for them.
Was that on this? No, this wasn't on this. Was it on
That
this?
was on 3, I believe.
Let's see.
But either way, just to think about the
No. It wasn't on either of those because it was on Rock Band.
Maybe
Almost sure. I'm 4% sure. I'm like 60% sure.
I mean, it might be on Rock Band as well. I think Rock Band was well after Guitar Hero 3, though. I believe.
I gotta grab me a couple brewskis.
You won't. No balls.
Are we allowed to? We're allowed to drink brewskis on this podcast, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Here it is. This is Rock Band.
Maybe it was Rock Band. Jeez.
Yeah. I remember.
The same sentiment still applies, I guess.
Yeah. Either way, I was just. It was like one of those things where I was like, wait, hold on.
Yeah. I have to prove Archie wrong right now.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to think of like what was the hardest. Oh wait,
the hardest song. There's 2 songs that come to mind on Guitar Hero 2.
This fucking song.
That is not one of them.
That's not. What do you mean?
That's not one of the hardest songs. It might be one of like top 5 maybe. But
on Guitar Hero 2 itself, I think that's the hardest song.
Nah. Jordan?
Is that on 2?
Jordan by Buckethead is definitely on 2. And that is the hardest song.
Sure
that is the hardest song on the game. 100 bonus songs. Go down to bonus songs. You got
yeah.
You got Jordan by Buckethead. You got 6 by All That Remains, which I remember was another one that was like touted as one of the hardest.
Thunder Horse was also pretty hard.
My buddy,
The Light That Blinds was like my personal favorite because I could actually beat it. I couldn't beat Jordan every time. Like I would have to get fucking lucky as shit. But like the Light to Blinds was one that I could beat like every time. Like I practiced the shit out of that song.
Shadows Fall. Oh my gosh, I went to a Shadows Fall concert, and seeing a guy get knocked out with a beer bottle from like, I mean, it had to be like 50 feet away. Like the guy threw it, and I was like far back, so I seen it like.
Seen the trajectory.
And like it went, it exploded, and I was like,
oh, so it wasn't
fucking
even
dead.
Did the bottle break, or was it not open yet?
I'm pretty sure. I don't think it broke. Like it was open, it just didn't break.
Oh,
I think
it didn't have.
I think like the bottom like cracked him in the fucking eye. I think that's what happened. All right, so I forgot that song was on here. Oh, this was also the Trooper was also pretty hard.
I forgot the Trooper was on that one.
Okay, so let's get into number 3.
Dude, number 3 had some bangers, dude. I know they have Rise Against on the bonus tracks.
Slow Ride.
Back when they were good?
All right, so
You said back when what, Don?
I said back when they were good?
Dude, everything after like the Suffer and the Witness can go to hell, really.
I didn't
They
know they were
became
still making music.
too emotional.
Dude, they had Tenacious D on there?
Yeah, the metal.
Damn.
Yeah, I think this was a lot of people's like first experience, like hearing Tenacious D. I think. Oh man,
Dude, I'll admit the second half of like the regular songs in that one get a little
dude, this song,
Cliffs of
What?
Dude,
Cliffs
suck.
of Dover, sucked. This song also, like playing it, sucks.
So you know what's funny? I told you about how this bar has an arcade version of Guitar Hero. I went down there. This was just 2 weekends ago. I went down there with a couple guys, and this guy wanted to like. You can do the professional face-off, where you guys play on the same difficulty. And he was like, "Oh, dude, expert, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it. It's like 2 a.m. Like it's 2 a.m. We're down here, like I'm drunk, sweating." And he's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. You look like an expert player." And he puts on Cliffs of Dover, and I was like, "Dude, I have to wake up and like have a whole breakfast before I even think about playing this song."
We got to talk about this song.
Oh yeah. Another one, Dragon Force, was they were kind of shot to the forefront of like metal because of how hard it was.
That guy, Herman Lee. I guess that they found out that he was. I remember this being a super huge deal. So, lip singing. I guess that he was doing a version of that with guitar. Because I guess his.
Well, he has.
I'm gonna have to find out what it was.
He's debunked. He does like a bunch of streams and stuff. He's a big Twitch guy, like Matt Heafy. He does a lot of like guitar playthroughs and stuff like that. And there's always like they're faking it talks. He shuts that down. He can definitely like play it 100%. He does it all the time because people just won't stop pestering him about it. But what's funny about them being shot to the forefront is people started to listen to their music, and then in turn started to go see them at concert, which dubbed them the nickname Studio Force, because everything but their actual recorded song sucks. So anytime you play it, you see him play it, he plays it sloppy, or anytime you see them live, they're just not as good.
What the?
Kind of crossing
What is-
into
hold on.
two of my
What is-
fortes there, getting into the metal universe.
I don't remember any of these. I remember these, the bonus songs.
What were the downloadable songs?
Yeah,
What?
I don't remember any of
For
these.
what?
Oh wait, no, I remember this. I remember specifically this.
The Halo?
Oh,
How do you play that on guitar here? It's probably something just fucking outrageous the
you
whole
just
time.
sing into the guitar. Oh,
Where do you download these songs though? Is what I'm like. Was that on the Wii like store or something?
it's
Maybe the
track
Xbox
packs.
360.
Yeah, that's what it had to.
It
have
had
been.
to have been, yeah. That's
Yeah.
kind of wild.
No, I guess both of them. This is PS3 and
I didn't know that they had Guitar Hero
360.
3 for PS3 either. So that's
It says that all the downloadable songs, besides 5 of them, came out the same day as Xbox Live and PlayStation Store.
huh. That's kind.
I did not know this at all.
Super crazy, actually. That's kind of wild. So they already had like DLC queued up for the releases of the actual stores. And what's funny, I remembered about the PlayStation 3 store when it first came out because I was super into I was just super into gaming. That's when I really started letting my sales kind of go. The PS3 store didn't even have an application that you could run through the PlayStation. Whenever you went to the PlayStation store, it took you to a browser
Oh yeah.
and then took you to like PlayStation.com/store, which is nuts.
Okay. So I guess coming back to this list here, Ratchet and Clank. Did you all ever play like multiplayer Ratchet and Clank?
No.
Ratchet and Clank is another one
Super fun.
of those mainstream games that I couldn't get down with it too much. I had Jack and Dexter. I feel like,
Do not be a hipster about this. It was
the Getaway.
too cool.
If
Too
you
many
guys
people
played the
do
fucking
that.
Getaway, arguably the
Yeah.
most slept on PS2 game of all time. Seriously. It was meant to be an immediate response to Grand Theft Auto in a way, kind of. And I believe the original Getaway they used like real places in London for their mapping out of everything, which is when yeah. So that's kind of cool. Fun fact.
Why is the main character named after South Carolina's Secretary of State?
What is his name?
What the fuck did you just say?
Mark Hammond. The main character of the game he's talking about he's the Secretary of State in South Carolina.
That's
Also
weird.
the main star of the game.
Dude.
Why would we
Yeah.
know? Why do you know that?
I saw the name and I was like, I know I've heard that name before, and I clicked on it and I was like, yep, I've seen that guy.
No, I think I played it, but I don't think I played it that much.
The Getaway was a fucking brutal game as well. Very
Ratchet
brutal.
and Clank. Ooh, Rapid Cortex. I guess this is I think I played this on Xbox first. Dude. Dude. Have you all ever played this game?
The Simpsons Hit and Run, dude. That is a classic. Classic.
It's so good. It's timeless, I think.
100% timeless. 100%.
Yeah, I think if I played it again today, I'd probably have almost as much fun as I did the first time.
I didn't play that game much when it came out. I was never into The Simpsons all I got. I played it.
I only ever rented it. Never owned it. Only ever rented it twice, though. I remember being like, I'll make that again.
You knew it was a good game if you went back to Blockbuster like the next week. It was like, hey, I'm gonna grab this one again, dude.
I honestly miss Blockbuster as an experience. I really do.
I was just explaining this to my little siblings. Like, my mom got remarried when I was older, so I got siblings that are a lot younger than me. And I was just explaining to them the other night how exciting it was when mom and dad told you we're going to Pizza Hut and then Blockbuster on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Like, that was it, dude.
I saw like a similar thing about like a younger person posting about, oh, do you guys remember when we had to take the Redbox movies back to the thing at the gas station? I'm like, don't do it to me.
Yeah.
Don't make me feel that.
No, they didn't believe me when I told them that Netflix used to send you DVDs in the mail.
Yeah, bro.
They thought I was joking.
Shit's a foreign fucking concept, man.
I mean, can you imagine explaining to someone that's born like after our generation that like the internet used to make noise when it was connected? They'd be like, what do you mean?
I think it was yelling at us. It was trying to warn us. Like, don't come on here.
Don't. There's weird stuff. There's really weird stuff. Man, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Oh, yeah. That's surprising. This is surprising.
We're coming up close to one of my favorite PS2 games ever.
Which is?
We'll get there. I'll tell you.
I'm very surprised that these are as low on the list as they are.
I'm surprised Tony Hawk.
Underground wasn't good, man.
Underground 2 was better.
The one with like...
That's the one where you could drive cars and shit. And you had like a whole storyline revolving around your character.
I'm sorry, Andrew, but we have to go back. We skipped my favorite PlayStation 2 game ever. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
I saw this
hold on.
review earlier, and I was like, man.
Is this... Hold on. Where's gameplay? Hold on.
Dude, I think
oh my god, this is exactly what I thought it was.
I think I like the other one more. I think it was
the second PlayStation 2 game I ever had. First one was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and then this, and then The Return of the King.
Bro, the old Harry Potter games for PS2 were...
Dude, the PS2 games made the new Harry Potter games look like trash.
Man, I can't believe I forgot about Lord of the Rings. There's a... What's the other one? Is it
that was the first game I ever remember playing where you could, like, that I personally played, that you could pick up items in the environment to use as a weapon.
Couldn't you, like, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but couldn't you could play with your friend and, like, you could be main characters?
So...
Yeah. There was, like, Gimli and Gandalf and Aragorn and...
Yeah, the one that I played was the direct sequel to that one, which was The Return of the King.
Or maybe The Return of the King was the one where you could choose them. I don't remember exactly, but
I remember the Return of the King. You could choose them because the first mission always started out with you facing that like ghost in this fucking underground tomb that's falling apart. That's all I remember at the moment.
I've been trying to find that on Amazon or something for a while now, and I can never find it.
Wait, can't you? I think you can buy it.
Well, I'm sure there's some site, but
No, I mean just on the store. Like on
oh, you mean just like online?
yeah.
I don't think it's on. It's not on PlayStation.
It might be. They've released like
Dude, the PlayStation catalog so far has been absolute trash for the most part. We get a few gems here and there, and that's like it.
I'm surprised SOCOM 2 is so high up. We're not there quite yet, but that one surprises me. I thought I would have seen that in the top 30s, maybe.
that was a really cool concept.
I'm
'Cause
trying,
you had your headset and you could use it to like say commands to like people.
So what I'm wondering is, like, are these going to be the gross? Like, if each of these came out on all three systems at the time, because like a lot of the Tony Hawks did, a lot of because if you're comparing units sold on just PlayStation when it has a Nintendo
Well, you gotta look at the reference points right next to the numbers sold. That'll tell you how many units were sold in each country, and sometimes they'll give you other details as well.
Don't worry, guys.
I
Don just
wonder
teaching
if I
me
could
how to
find
use
like
Wikipedia.
So, like for Madden NFL, this says that it's only reported sales data for the United States,
Yeah, right.
and like stuff like that.
See, that's where a lot of this. I
It
feel
still
like,
doesn't help, I
especially
guess,
starting
with
now,
console, though.
that's gonna make a lot of these lists a little bit fluey. I feel like.
okay, so this is cross system. So this is from 2017 or 95 to 2017. So if we're going with PlayStation release, it's going to be here. I think PS2 came out around 2002.
I believe it was 2001.
I
All
think it was 2002.
I believe it was 2001 in Japan, and we didn't get it.
Either way,
26th of October 2000.
2000.
that seems earlier than I thought
Japan.
it was.
It says the 4th of March 2000 in Japan, 26th of October 2000 in America, 24th of November in Europe, and Australia was the 30th of November.
Yeah, I remember Europe got way later. See, and that was the last time that PlayStation fucked up by giving Japan their consoles first.
How were we all wrong about that? I could have sworn I was 12 when we got a PlayStation.
You may have been.
I feel like the release was super iffy too, though.
I feel like I don't know if this list is. No, I guess it has to be.
So, like 2007, with it being Guitar Hero 3, we just saw that Guitar Hero 3 was listed in the 20s, the high 20s for PlayStation sales. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's one system versus this is every system.
Right.
Huh.
MW2 was until 2009. Oh, man. That's when the good old days started, man.
I think
There's
that,
something
like
different about them MW2 lobbies, dog.
right around here is where I start being toxic online. No. Actually, it had to be way before that. It was probably here. 13. I would have been in 8th grade. I would have just gotten Facebook.
2005.
Yeah, I joined Facebook in 2005, and oh my god, it was hectic. Oh my, we have this. There used to be a group for my high school, and I would just go on there and I would say, "What are you, gay?" And people would get super, super mad at that. And I remember I was at lunch and a group of young men surrounded me and they were like, "What's all that shit you said on Facebook?" And then I said, "What are you, gay?" And then one of them tried to punch me but missed and punched the guy that was like trying to help him, like that was trying to surround me. And it was just it was a rough day for those boys.
And then they made out.
Can you imagine?
And then stupid.
All right. I got about 10 minutes. I'm gonna have to wrap up. We're basically gonna have. We didn't even get through PlayStation 2. I knew that this was gonna take a while.
I fucking told you, man. You could go forever with PS2. Another thing, just to add some more flavor towards the end of the episode, PS2 had a DVD player built in. Not only were game consoles starting to branch out, game consoles started to realize that people are going to want this system as a part of their entertainment system. This is when it started to become more of a household commodity.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of your mom saying, "Kick the fucking GameCube in the closet," you have uncles that you don't care about coming over.
I think it's very sad that DVDs are dying. I really do think it's sad. I think that it was such a cool
this for
thing.
hours.
We'll talk about it on Thursday, maybe. Wait, do we have a guest for Thursday? Hold on.
I think you do.
Oh, what's his name supposed to come on, right?
Shane.
Oh, what's his name?
What's his name?
Shane.
Shane.
I know he'd love to talk about that too. We both love owning content physically instead of digitally.
Yeah, I miss
That's
I
what
miss when downloading a movie online felt dirty. I think. I know that's kind of messed up, but I really think that that's the case.
Well, it depends on the movie.
No, I miss going to like Pirate Bay and downloading like Mad Max or like RoboCop, or you know what I mean? Like I miss like I had a DVD burner that I would like download movies. And I wasn't like selling bootleg shit or anything like that, but I would like copy them. And
I was way more into the LimeWire iTunes game, and I used to burn CDs.
Playing with fire every time you try to find like. I think
I was playing with more fire. I used BearShare.
I was literally playing with fire because my laptop would fucking heat up so much every time I put up LimeWire. It would sound like a fucking plane's about to take off.
I think I used LimeWire for like 4 or 5 months, and then I switched over to FrostWire.
I used LimeWire so I could listen to all my sick fucking red jumpsuit apparatus and boxcar racer in the car.
Boxcar Racer.
where my mom drove us everywhere, you know.
Fuck. Those are good times.
Used to get like if you burned, there were certain songs that like, for example, Stone Sour's Through Glass. For whatever reason, there was a certain version that you downloaded through LimeWire that always had like a loud beep in the middle of the song at certain points, and like everybody would talk about it who had LimeWire, and it was like a thing. Like they couldn't find an unclipped version of these songs. Like they would only be able to find like the unexplicit versions of songs, stuff like that. I believe there was a case like when Kids Bop came out. They could only find like Kids Bop.
I remember that trying to download. So there's a song by a band called She Wants Revenge, and it's called Tear You Apart. If you don't know what that song is, it's I want to hold you close, skin pressed against me tight. Like it's very
Sounds super straight.
it's not. So I bet you feel like a fool. Here.
Oh god. Are we gonna get flagged for this?
Yeah. I think you can play like 10 seconds or something. I don't know.
Is that like the for which service? Which service is gonna cut us off after 10 seconds?
It's definitely
Recordings
not going to be Kick. Kick does not care at all. You can literally watch a movie on Kick.
I feel like Twitch is pretty lackadaisical for the most part as well.
Kiss hard, wait, never mind.
If you know
dude, yes,
if you know
I
it
do
from
know
that-
that song. I do know
that's-
that song. That's hilarious.
So
I
don't
never knew
know
that was
if
that
you-
song.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but
That's
if
like
you
the-
are on FrostWire or LimeWire in let's say 2002 to 2000 whatever, and you were trying to look up these words, think about it. It was never this song, and it was always porn. Every time.
Oh man.
It'd be like she gets torn apart. She
That's
wants
fantastic.
revenge for being torn apart. It would be gross stuff.
This song reminds me of if like Depeche Mode listened to like a Front Bottoms album.
I don't. Wait. I'm gonna Google. Hold on. I gotta Google like two things really quick.
Oh god, dude.
Depeche
That was-
Mode.
Fuck you, dude. That was too good.
Wait, hold on.
It was funny. I just listened to the Front Bottoms last night.
Dude, I don't hate them. I respect what they do.
I love them, dude. I fucking love them.
Funny story actually. I'll get to talk about my job a little bit. Depeche Mode just played Nashville not that long ago. They came through Gibson's custom shop for a tour. I got to meet the guys, so that was pretty cool. Nobody
That's
knew
awesome.
who they were because they're like 109 now, but
Yeah. Yeah, they put out some real cool tracks, man.
dude, I love old Depeche Mode, man.
Okay,
I can listen to that shit
I
forever.
understand your joke now, and I think that was a
You
good one.
probably,
That was a good. That was good. Okay,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I get it.
All right.
I get it.
I'm glad Dawn got it right on right on cue.
Dude, as
I'm
soon
not-
as you said it, I was like, good God, that's too close.
My
Depeche
musical
Mode with the right
taste
amount of
is.
angst.
I'll tell you the last 6 songs that I've listened to.
Oh jeez.
Wall of Wax by Heavy Hitter. Marble by Norman Sam. This absolute banger. Hold on. I wonder if I can. Hold on. I want you to hear this song. Because it can't. It has to be a royalty-free song. I don't see why it wouldn't. What was I about to look up? Oh.
My last 6 are all deathcore. I've been on a wave of the animal dying noises with super fast beats behind them, usually in another language.
This would be one of my.
Along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we caught the blood.
I don't know why, but this song always puts me in a good mood.
Yeah, dude.
Is this what you listen to when you go to the gym? Is that what pumps you up?
No, dude. Actually, yeah, I do. But I also listen to this song. Do you know what this is?
Cuban 50-50? 50-50?
So, okay. So,
Surrounded by couples all the time.
yeah. So I used to listen to nothing
Okay.
but like super violent, like death metal. And I mean, there's still part of me that I still do that. Like I still.
What could you give me some examples of bands?
Oh, of what I've been listening to like lately.
Just like some of your favorite death metals that you listen to now or later or before, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through some of these. Then I'm gonna have you shout out your stuff, and then we're gonna have the bounce.
Yeah.
So heavy metal wise, Wall of Wax, Heavy Hitter is that's the newest song that I'm into. Kublai Khan, you've probably heard of them. Body Snatcher.
I feel like that's more in the like.
God Hand.
I hate to generalize it so much, but that's more like death metal-ish.
What did you just ask me for?
Just who you were listening to.
Oh,
And you responded.
oh I'm not.
Great job.
I don't know. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I know like 9 colors and I know like 6 genres of music. All right,
That's a fair point.
My
I guess this
brain-
would have to be a conversation for another podcast.
My brain is
man.
filled with like useless information about niche internet celebrities and like the Anarchist Cookbook and comedy that I started writing 6 months ago and then I forgot about until yesterday. And I'm like, oh, here's how to end that joke. That's how my brain works. It's filled with just useless.
What he's getting at
factoids.
is he knows 9 colors and 6 different bands, like he said, but he can't count to 10.
Correct. No.
I feel that numbers are hard,
know
dude.
A lot of bands. I just don't know genres at all. Like,
See, I pick that shit
feel that.
apart. That's like I'm very like, no, this is that, and this is more this. And I have to like know every member of every band and whatever, you know.
I'm very into Thy Art Is Murder.
Thy Art Is Murder has been a heavy hitter on my playlist lately. Them and Lorna Shore. I have been spinning.
Lorna Shore.
They do that weird like.
Yeah, he does a lot of that squealy shit. It's fucking gnarly.
Dude. Do you ever watch him on The Charismatic Voice, the vocalist for them?
The what?
It's a YouTube channel, the Charismatic Voice.
No.
I don't.
Will Ramos, you know, he's the vocalist. And
yeah. I watch a lot of his stuff. Like,
Check him out, dude. I think you would, if you love him, you would absolutely love the videos he's done with the charismatic voice. She's a classical opera singer, and they get together and talk about like vocals and stuff.
You're not talking about Melissa Cross, are you?
No,
Okay. That's
You know what
okay.
metal song broke my heart is this one? Do y'all remember this?
See, I
Can't
wasn't
say it.
big. That putty metal. No, dude, Chelsea Green was kind of they were just too mainstream for their own good. They got adopted by like the screamo heads, I guess.
Well,
So I never really gave him a Trevor. I don't even know how to say his fucking name, but that dude is a goat.
so this guy,
He was the original singer for
this is the singer for the Black Dahlia murder.
yeah, that's
And this
yeah.
is like right after he died. And this is like a video paying tribute to him.
Oh,
And
holy
I
shit.
remember being like,
That's kind of dope.
fucking,
Well, I'm like way more into deathcore now, and I feel like they're in that kind of realm. I do vocals quite a bit, so I watch a lot of like Will Ramos' shit and a lot of his stuff. Trevor Strnad.
ooh. You know who I could? You know who I'm going to message? Actually, here, give yourself a shout out, and then we're going to hop off here and we'll talk in post.
Catch me streaming all the time on Twitch and soon to be YouTube at Scorchy Does Things. That's across all my socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Thanks for having me, Andrew. I appreciate it, bud.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, and
For
we
sure.
will we'll bring you back, and see, I guess we'll talk about Xbox finally.
Don, it was a pleasure, my boy.
you as well, my man.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in, and
Fuck
folks, stick
yeah.
around for a minute.